Okay, I got something kind of cool in the mail today. I had actually almost forgotten about. I had ordered this knife from Kellam Knives. It's Kellam Knives, and I'll put a link in the description. And I can't remember how exactly I came across this knife company. They're in Florida. Let's see, Latona, Florida. But they make these cool replica historic knives of European trader and trapper knives. And it's pretty cool. And they're made with this high carbon steel that's somehow charcoal treated, and it gives it this cool effect. The handles are made of tiger maple, so that's really kind of cool. I was a little surprised at the profile, because if you look on their website, this is a little pretty looking. It's a lot more rustic looking on their website, and if you go visit it, I'll leave a link. You can see what I'm talking about. I bought it because I love the finish on the blade, but I also bought it because I thought it had more of a rustic handle. But it's nice. I bought it mainly as a neck knife because it's not very long. Looks like the blade is about 3 3/4 long, and the entire knife is about 7 1/4. Oh lordy, the phone rings every time I try to do something. Let me see if I can show you some of the detail on it. Now tomorrow, I don't have the right lighting in here right now, but now it's not the perfectly made knife. You know, the blade doesn't have the perfect profile on it. I'm not sure if they did that on purpose or if they were just, you know, the knife only costs $30, which is another cool thing about it. But I love carbon steel blades. I can't stand stainless and those other highly polished blades. They drive me nuts. But you can see here, the edge itself is not even perfectly shaped. So, but it's kind of cool. I like it, and I imagine maybe this was for cutting cable or snares or something, since this is an old trapper replica. But what I plan on doing is making a neck knife sheath for it tomorrow, and I'll show that from start to finish. But you know, it's fun to collect these knives that are really kind of have a lot of personality to them, that are affordable. That's what I really like about them. I'm not into spending $300 or $400 on a knife. Just ain't gonna do it. I've been kind of playing around with a neck knife sheath design. What I'm going to do is I'll have a little tab that sticks up where a paracord can come and wrap around it here to kind of retain it, but also go up and wrap around your neck. What's funny is that when I was digging around for some leather out in the shop, which I found a scrap piece that'll be plenty, so I don't have to break out the big roll, I found my old putty knife that I made just for the fun of it. One day I was bored, and I went out in the shop and found an old putty knife, and I cut it into the profile of what at the time I considered a bushcraft profile, but this is one of the old putty knives that has a really stiff blade on it. You couldn't really do this with the modern putty knives that are flimsy, but this one, I don't think I ever really got that great of an edge on it, to be honest with you. But well, actually, Actually, it's better than I thought it was. You know, people thought that I wouldn't be able to get an edge on it because all I did was cut it with my grinder, cut the shape, and then put the best edge I could on it. But the neat thing about the putty knife is they already had this handle style that I liked with the hole in it for the paracord. And of course, this was like one of the first sheaths that I made. It's funny, and but it worked. So I just thought that was funny. I'd dig that out. The funny thing about this is that that's one of the most successful videos I have. I'll put a link to it. It's got like 340,000 views, and I'm not quite sure what is popular or what is. I mean, it's interesting, the idea of taking a putty knife and making a knife out of it, and it's funny because, and you know, it's turned out to be one of my favorite videos. But anyway, I thought it was funny because I kind of thought I had misplaced it after moving 2 times in 1 year, but I found it in the bottom drawer of one of my tool boxes. So anyway, I'll be making a sheath for this tomorrow, and I'll put that video up tomorrow evening. And as usual, I appreciate you guys watching.